Have you ever wondered why, despite years of media attention and global outrage, so many of Hollywood's biggest names seem to be missing from the infamous Jeffrey Epstein files? Were these omissions intentional, a result of legal constraints, or simply a misunderstanding of what the documents actually contain? In this video, we dive deep into the Epstein archives, uncover the layers of redactions, legal protections, and ongoing investigations, and explore the reasons why the celebrities everyone expected to see may never appear in the public record. In late 2025 and early 2026, the world witnessed one of the most controversial and closely scrutinized government document releases in recent history, the so-called Epstein files, millions of pages of records connected to financier Jeffrey Epstein and his network. Interest ran high not just because of the shocking criminal allegations Raymond faced, but because of the wealthy, famous, and powerful people who were expected to appear in the records. Across social media, headlines, and public speculation, one question kept rising: why are so many Hollywood names missing from the Epstein files? This question merges two powerful forces in modern culture: the public's appetite for transparency and the mystique of celebrity, and invites a deeper exploration of how government disclosures actually work, what was legally released, and why many expected entries never materialized in the public. Archive. The Epstein files are the product of a federal law known as the Epstein Files Transparency Act, enacted in late 2025. The law required the U.S. Department of Justice (DOJ) to publish all records in its possession related to Epstein and the related Ghislaine Maxwell prosecutions, as well as supplemental investigations by the FBI and other agencies. This was intended to bring unprecedented transparency to a saga that had been clouded in secrecy for years. Beginning in December 2025 and continuing into early 2026, the DOJ released multiple tranches of documents that, when combined, totaled millions of pages now accessible to the public without a legal requirement to file Freedom of Information Act requests. These records include court filings and trial exhibits, including testimony summaries, emails, text messages, and internal communications from Epstein, associates, and law enforcement, FBI investigative reports relating to multiple federal investigations, flight logs, travel records, and high-profile contacts, photographs seized from Epstein properties. But crucially, these are raw investigative documents, not curated lists of Hollywood co-conspirators or tabloids' wildest fantasies. And that distinction is at the heart of why so many famous names appear to be missing. For years prior to the Transparency Act, Epstein's circle was the subject of endless speculation. Epstein's infamous Black Book was leaked online years earlier, and media outlets published snippets showing many wealthy and well-known personalities, including actors, musicians, and business moguls, in Epstein's address book or flight logs. These leaks triggered rumors and conjecture, but did not provide evidence of wrongdoing. Social media magnified those rumors, circulating lists claiming that X-celebrity is definitely in Epstein's files, or asserting that the DOJ removed all Hollywood names. The reality is more nuanced. The leaked Black Book was never part of the official DOJ release, and investigators distinguished between listings that simply contain names and investigative evidence of criminal conduct. So before the files were released, many public expectations were shaped less by legal reality and more by conjecture, rumor, and conspiracy theories about what the documents might contain. One of the most significant factors in why expected names are absent or difficult to find is redaction. Although the Epstein Files Transparency Act required the DOJ to publish all responsive records, the law also allowed certain redactions to protect legitimate interests, such as victim privacy. Names and specific identifying information of survivors are prohibited from release to prevent re-traumatization and protect their safety. Ongoing investigations, materials that could compromise open cases or reveal investigative tactics are restricted. Attorney-client privilege or classified information, where national security or legitimate privilege applies, summaries may be provided instead. At multiple stages in the release, critics observed that hundreds of pages were entirely blacked out, sometimes without clear explanation. Lawmakers and congressional aides reported pages that contained no visible text thanks to heavy redaction. These redactions are not unique to Epstein government releases in high-profile cases, often balance transparency with legal and privacy obligations. But to many observers expecting a straightforward reveal of names of rich and famous associates, the redacted pages create the impression of concealment. Another key reason many celebrities don't appear, at least not obviously in the publicly available files, is simple volume and lack of organization. The documents were not released as a neatly cataloged list of individuals. Instead, they were published as dense PDFs of investigative notes, scanned court documents, email chains without searchable metadata, miscellaneous exhibits and images. With millions of pages and no official index of Hollywood names, finding a specific person requires deep forensic analysis, and even then, a name might appear only within a broader context that has nothing to do with wrongdoing. This means that many expected names might be present, but buried within the mass of documents, attached as metadata, or present in formats that are not easily searchable by casual observers. Despite DOJ's claim that it has met its legal obligations, a deeper look shows that there are still millions of pages not yet available to the public. According to recent reports, despite the DOJ's release of approximately 3.5 million pages, an estimated 6 million files exist in total. Over 47,000 files were taken offline for further review shortly after publication because they contain sensitive allegations or technical tagging errors. These withheld materials include FBI interview summaries that were initially excluded due to classification issues, witness statements containing sensitive personal details, documents misfiled or misclassified during initial processing. The presence of unfinished or pending releases further complicates the public's ability to dig into the full scope of the files. If 2.5+ million pages are still unposted, then naturally many names, celebrity or otherwise, simply haven't entered the public domain yet. Among the released and newly unredacted materials are records that include reference to high-profile individuals, but with varying contexts and uncertain relevance. Millions of files remain offline or withheld pending review. Some names expected to appear were the product of rumor and misinterpretation, not verified associations. Politics, misinformation, and incomplete context all blur public understanding of what the files actually contain. This story is not one of simple concealment, it's one of information management, legal constraints, and public perception colliding in real time. If you want the full story behind Hollywood secrets, shocking revelations, and exclusive investigations, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. You won't want to miss a single episode.